Oh, a microphony.
And a phony at the mic.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The Doctor of Discernment is now online.
You know, much like my show, in that it's a local reaction to things that are happening on a federal level.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense. No prescription required.
Wow, do I have a boatload of stuff for you, from the crazy to the absurd. Let's start getting into it because, I mean, it is bizarro world out there. And I say, if it's obvious to me, should be obvious to everybody. Oh, wow. Who could have seen this coming?
This is the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage.
Hold on to your butts.
Broadcasting from the basement bunker beneath Kettle Radio. Welcome to the Fourth Hour with Greg Belfrage. I'm running a few minutes late here because I was watching some of this video of Carmelo Anthony, and I've got to show you this. This is, here we go. This is a point of view video that was released, and this is from the New York Post. I'll give you a little bit more background here. This group, it's a group you never heard of, the Next Generation Action Network, a member of the organization security team shaking Carmelo Anthony's hand. You're going to see a lot of this. I'm going to show you the video. Colin Rugg showing this, and he says their team releasing this POV video filmed in Ray-Ban Meta glasses, brag about intimidating a female reporter. They're treating him like a celebrity. Anthony's family has also allegedly purchased a new car. And so I'm going to show you the video. This is only a little over a minute long. And I want you, listen to the media and this is toward the end of the clip. Listen to the media and the questions they ask and the way they ask them. It's mind-blowing. Hold on, here we go. So they're doing this walkout. They've given him instructions.
Carmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say, Carmelo? Do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Carmelo, why were you armed at school?
Great question.
Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Now listen.
Excuse me.
Well, you like to say?
You want to say to the community that's donated?
Oh, is there anything you want to say to the community that's donated? To the community that's donated money? Are you kidding me? That's the legacy media hard at work, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, doing what they do. I got a really great email from Carol this morning, and she sent me a video, and it's great. She said a little over a minute long. Truly mind-boggling how some are defending this man. We're talking about Mr. Garcia, the El Salvador man, currently in the El Salvador prison, who is a Maryland father, according to the legacy media. So Carol sent me a really great piece of video, and I want to share this with you. This is Tom Holman. And you may have seen this. He was on Laura Ingram's program, and he's talking about Garcia.
You mean Chris Van Hollen, the guy that didn't want to sign the Lake and Riley Act?
I'm gonna start it over because I should have set this up a little bit better. He's talking about Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen. Okay, that was a big story yesterday and this morning about Van Hollen going to El Salvador, and they wouldn't let him into their. He accomplished nothing. They wouldn't let him in. So here's Tom Holman responding to Senator Van Hollen.
You mean Chris Van Hollen, the guy that didn't want to sign the Lake and Riley Act that protects American citizens against illegal alien criminal gang members? Who instead of protecting Americans, his constituents, his taxpayers, he goes to El Salvador and defends an illegal alien with a deportation order that's a member of MS-13 that's been designated a terrorist organization by President Trump. That's who we want to defend it. It's just disgusting. The same senator who state yesterday released an illegal alien charged with murder, refused the ICE detainer, hit the street. So rather than protecting his community, protecting the residents of Maryland, he goes to El Salvador to coddle an MS-13 gang member terrorist. It's ridiculous. And also, I talked to an MS-13
It's not ridiculous.
today,
It's
who also showed me
outrageous.
pictures of his hand, where he says absolutely the tattoo on one of his hands was absolutely an MS-13 gang tattoo. Nothing questionable about it. 2 judges said he's an MS-13 member. ICE says he's an MS-13 member. Intelligence community says he's an MS-13 member. El Salvador says he's an MS-13 member. So, it's just ridiculous. And as far as all the people who are speaking out against this, I cannot believe for a minute there's that many stupid people in the world. Now,
there are.
Smart
Sadly.
zero. We'll give them that. But I can't believe these people really believe what they're saying. They got to be just pushing the narrative for political reasons. They can't be that dumb to think that that this person is an MS-13 gang member.
No. No, I beg to differ. I love Tom Homan. This is not meant as disrespectful of Tom Homan. It's my lack of respect for Americans, I think, that is really suffered. No, folks. They just, and I don't know what it is. Is it Trump derangement syndrome that is set in the country so bad that hatred of Donald Trump just blinds people to everything else? It just absolutely blinds people to everything else. And I had a caller on the air this morning, Joe, and I'm not trying to disparage Joe. I'm hoping that he calls again, and I hope that we can have future conversations. And I hope one of the things that I say during the radio show, and I say this all the time, is don't just take my word for it. Go out there and find these stories and reporting, find sources that you can trust and see what's going on. Take a look for yourself and see what's going on. And so, again, Senator Van Hollen and this whole stunt, because that's all it was. It was a stunt going to El Salvador. He wasn't allowed to see Garcia. They wouldn't even let him in the prison. And so who pays for that? Because he's not paying for the ticket. What, the American taxpayer is paying for this? What an absolute waste. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. I talked about that at length on the air this morning, so I'm not going to rehash that issue this morning. Let's go to while we're on national issues, Greg Jarrett was on Fox News. And as we're talking about this issue of Garcia and what's happening here, Greg Jarrett is a lawyer. He's giving his legal analysis of all of this.
Hey, Lawrence, I mean, the Supreme Court said the Trump administration should make an effort to facilitate Garcia's release from custody in El Salvador. Now, that's very different than ordering his physical return to the United States. The difference in semantics is important, which is why the High Court was so critical.
Lawrence is laughing
for using unclear language, told her you got to be more precise. And then at the same time, the justices gave her a basic law school tutorial, reminding her, hey, the executive branch conducts foreign policy, not judges, not you, and you must give deference to that fundamental constitutional principle, which means all she can really do is order that Garcia's immigration status be changed so that he could conceivably be readmitted to the United States if and only if El Salvador chooses to release him. Other than that, you have no power, but she doesn't seem to get it.
One of a number of people who doesn't seem to get it, I think, these days. All right. While we're talking about this issue, there is a story. Jesse Waters on Fox News Channel, Jesse Waters, primetime. And he's saying of Garcia, everyone knows that wearing a Chicago Bulls hat means you're MS-13. This is what he was talking about. That Chicago Bulls hat. So he was talking about it. Let's get to his comments. Here it is. Garcia's a Bulls fan, but he's from El Salvador, and he lives in Maryland, not Chicago. The Bulls lost 60 games in 2019, so why the hat? Can Garcia name anyone on the team? Anyone on the Bulls team beside Jordan? And he goes on to say that it is because he's a member of MS-13. And that's why he said, everyone from El Salvador knows what it means. When you wear a Bulls hat, it means you're MS-13. Now, this is Jesse Waters. It's not me saying it. I don't know. I don't know anybody from El Salvador, so this is not me saying this. He said, but when you wear a Bulls hat, it means you're MS-13. When you're in Compton, you don't accidentally wear red and say, oh, I didn't know red was Bloods. If you're a Latin American illegal alien in Maryland, you don't accidentally wear Chicago Bulls gear and hang around with high-ranking gangsters from MS-13. So that's, and then you got all kinds of pushback coming from the left, and there are various reporting on that. Again, I'm not saying that. I'm just putting it out there in front of you. This is what others are saying. It is pretty weird. Why is this guy from Maryland, why is he wearing a Chicago Bulls hat? And there was a lot of evidence that was presented by Attorney General Pam Bondi yesterday in regard, really laying out the case. It was pretty incredible. Yeah, Carolyn Levitt at the White House yesterday, touching on all of these things. Okay, I want to take a look at the president's True Social account, something I kind of do every day, see what's on the president's mind. I'm going to refresh this to see if he has posted anything new, which he has. Attending the White House Easter prayer service and dinner. And then this cut, they must have posted the photo right after this, because this is what I saw. Congratulations to my friends, Governor Greg Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Speaker Dustin Burrows, along with Texas legislators for finally passing school choice, which I strongly endorsed. He's saying this is a huge victory. We will very soon be sending education back to all the states where it belongs. It's our goal to bring education in the U.S. to the highest level one is that is never attained before, he said. Also talked about having a call with the president of Mexico yesterday, meeting with Japanese trade representatives. He's got a number, in fact, some photos, meeting with Japanese trade representatives yesterday. He's saying every nation, including China, wants to meet. Today, Italy. And then he shared that piece, that Greg Jarrett piece that I've already shared with you, which Greg Jarrett is somebody that I really admire. Again, while we're talking about this, there are other stories that I think are important, but this one is just huge. And I think that I want you to be able to put it into context of what's going. So here's the story from the New York Post. Troubling ties, alleged MS-13 gangbanger. His rank, street name revealed as the fight over deportation rages on. There he is with the aforementioned Bulls cap on. You seen these videos from that prison? Oh, wow. Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. So let's take a look at, I saw this story earlier this morning. Pam Bondi sharing this evidence yesterday. And again, some of the local police, local judges saying he was an active member of MS-13. And they really lay out the evidence. So if you want to see this story, it's at the New York Post. Noted that his clothing, a Chicago Bulls hat and hoodie with rolls of money, covering the eyes, ears, and mouth of the presidents is indicative of the Hispanic gang culture. And they got all kinds of evidence here. The meaning of that is see no evil, hear no evil, say no evil. He was wearing the Bulls hat that he was wearing had less to do with the sports team and more about internal happenings within the Latin gang. Wearing the Chicago Bulls hat represents that they are a member in good standing with MS-13. So this isn't just Jesse Waters of Fox News saying this. This is coming from authorities who are saying this. And again, you have people who get their heads all just spun around, turned on backwards, upside down as a result of all of that stuff. Really incredible as you watch it. Okay, now let's leave that issue behind us because this to me is really intriguing. This is from Jody Schwan. The former campus of Citibank in Sioux Falls, Citibank, being proposed as an option for new prison. This is interesting. What do you think of this? As always, as I'm showing this stuff to you, and I know a number of you are commenting, I'll circle back to some of your comments here, I think, unless we run really short of time. But feel free to share your comments. I love hearing from you. So the Citibank campus being floated as a potential site for the new South Dakota men's prison, coming from Jody Schwan. So the state is working on it, request for information, so on, looking at sites. As you know, the issue of Lincoln County, that's been a rocky one. I've been a little bit reluctant to get too deep into that for fear just of upsetting folks in Lincoln County. The need for a new prison, I think, is not debatable. No question that we need a new prison. The question is where we build it. And so this, to me, is interesting. You build it in Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls has already got the men's prison. Build it on the Citibank campus. Again, whether or not that's feasible, I really don't know. The campus was listed for sale, Schwan says, last year at $33.8 million. And it's they think they could get 1,000 or 15 beds on the site. So it's a viable option. Who is it who's speaking there? Greg Brown of NAI Sioux Falls. He's got the property listed. Very kind of interesting. Again, I want to give credit there to Jody Schwan. You'll find that story at siouxfalls.business if you want to pick up some additional details. Okay, let's peruse the comments here this morning. Thank you, Robert. Yeah, no question about it. The property, Steve is saying it would need some work, but the infrastructure to operate certainly exists in Sioux Falls. And Robert's saying the cost won't be much different. So how do the politicians get past it? Well, that'll be anybody's guess, I think, at this point. So I think I'm going to leave it there today. That's a wrap from the bunker. You made it to the end of the video, and I want to thank you so much for being here. You're part of my gallery of champions. You made it to the end of the video, so a big thanks. Let's leave it there today. I'm back again tomorrow. Until then, I'm underground and gone.